When the flag dropped on the first Waimate 50 in 1959, most thought that this would herald a new era in New Zealand motor racing and round the houses competition. But as things always do, fashions and fads change, and with the opening of the level circuit in nearby Timaru, the curtain came down on a piece of New Zealand motor racing history. For the last 6 years, the event has been reborn under the stewardship of a very proactive committee and with the valued sponsorship of Ken McKeown from McKeown Petroleum. Each and every year, the race has evolved. The Ellerslie Farms Invitational brings back side-by-side racing, Waimate Pharmacy Hill Climb and the Makiki Fries Rally Sprint and the Street Attack. Last year, drifting was introduced to the Waimate 50 to rave reviews. So in 2015, they were back, bigger and better than ever, including a North versus South competition, pitting 4 of the top North Island cars against 4 from the South. The event has grown to 4 races in one weekend and has become a must-do for hundreds of New Zealand motorsport enthusiasts. This is the McKeown Petroleum Waimate 50 GT Series for 2015. The by now traditional opening of this very busy weekend starts with speeches at the Waimate Stadium and the very popular Kirk Irrigation wheel changing competition on the Friday night. Locals and teams from farther afield took their chances. The rules are simple. 4-person teams have to change 2 wheels front to back, all the while the driver drinking his beverage of choice in the cab. Even with the help of the local arm of the law, the locals were up against it, with the champions from last year, Whanga Dan's pit crew, looking to again take the trophy back home to Whangarei. And that's exactly what they did. Their winning time of 1:43.27, too good for the rest. Kirk Irrigation Trophy, theirs again, and a great start for the 2-time New Zealand drifting champion. The first event of the Saturday morning is the Waimate Pharmacy race to the White Horse Hill Climb. Starting at the bottom of Parker's Bush Road, many believe this to be one of the best hill climb roads in New Zealand, with both very technical sections and wide open runs over blind crests, something to keep you in equal parts engrossed and terrified. It doubles as the first event in the 3-race overall championship. Looking to go back to back to back again was Michael Tall. Michael, the defending champion here at Waimate. What is it that's so special about this weekend?
Oh, it's just a good collection of roads. Got obviously a gravel hill climb today and a tarmac event tonight, which I really enjoy as well. And then obviously another gravel one tomorrow. So 3 different events in the same weekend is always good.
The competition's fantastic with Mike and Darren and Matt. And it really pushes you and makes you a better driver out of you. And I mean, everyone likes a challenge, and me especially. So, and it's not just that, but the road. I mean, it's up the top there, and those crests. There's nothing like it really.
Just an awesome combination of events and really good atmosphere at the event, so keeps us coming back.
It's going to be very hard to win this year. All those drivers are really fast and been doing quite a few miles lately, so yeah, hard work.
Yeah, exactly. Those 3 will be very fast, and it's going to be a pretty tight competition over the weekend, I think.
Yeah, I think last year over the 3 events we were separated by 2 seconds, so yeah, we're still running our turbo restrictor this year, so is Matt, so these boys have taken theirs out, so they've got a bit more horsepower, so we'll see if we can keep them honest.
Oamaru Toyota stalwart Peter Frid in his Starlet was once again too good in Class 5, 0 to 1300cc class. His winning time, 2:26.25. Whilst in Class 4 it was Waimate's Rob McKenzie in his DX Corolla, 2:29.54. Of all the cars in his workshop, Jeff Judd decided on the Mark 1 BDA. It paid off. He was 4th in class, classic 2-wheel drive. The class act in Class 3 was adopted local Bert Murray, driving the ex-Neil Allport Main Freight New Zealand Championship car. His winning time, 2:16.20, 13th overall. Balclutha engineer Paul Goatley took 2nd in Class 2 honours in a not-so-rally-friendly BMW. The winner of Class 2, with a hang-it-all-out style of his own, was the always entertaining Dylan Cameron. His Toyota Corolla stopping the clocks with a 2:17.12, showing just how tight the racing was in the classes. Have a look as he attacks the hill here. Keith Anderson had been in a starlet the last time he came to Waimate, but here he took his Evo to 10th overall with a 2:14.14 clocking. James B in the newer Mitsubishi Evo 5 was 9th overall, his best run a 2:14.07. Matt McGlinchey is another regular rally competitor in the mainland. Flying the Subaru flag, he would finish 8th with a 2:13.85. Rangiora resident Sam Hurley had his Mitsubishi Evo 3 up the Parker Bush Road hill in 7th overall with a time of 2:13.20. Ryan Berry made his hill climb debut count with the 6th place overall finish in the Mitsubishi Evo 3, 2:11.81. Into the top 5 now, and Jeff Williamson saved his best of 4 runs till last and finished 5th overall in 2:10.33 on run number 4. Matt Summerfield in the Castrol Edge Subaru had been hovering around the 2:06 to 2:08 mark as the heavily gravelled roads were being swept clean. His best, a 2:04.08, good enough for 4th overall, and seeing him engage in a weekend-long battle with Tall, Galbraith and Baddock for the overall series win. He had had a great New Zealand Rally Championship campaign, and the miles and the seat time was showing. Michael and Lorna Tall are the defending McKeown Petroleum Waimate 50 GT Series overall champions, and they have done that with fast, consistent performances in the 3 disciplines: the hill climb, the rally sprint and the super sprint on the streets. 3rd overall here at the hill climb, setting up another title chase. Timaru policeman Darren Galbraith in the Cool Air Mitsubishi was another to post his best time on the last run of the day, his 2:01.27, a recovery of sorts from a problem he had earlier in the morning. Have a look as we ride with the Drummond and Etheridge Holden on board. This is Darren Galbraith. Just runs it a little bit wide up by the spectator area.
Well, mate. Yeah, I'm good.
Richard Baddock had been cruelly denied the overall championship win here at Waimate before, but his weekend got off to a flying start for the Christchurch mechanic. Quickest all day in his black Subaru Impreza, his winning time of 2:01.02, just shading rival Galbraith. As these onboard shots show, the margin of error, especially on the crests and blind brows, is minuscule. A mistake can not only cost you time, but also a car. So Richard Baddock gets his Waimate 50 campaign off to the best possible start by winning the hill climb from Darren Galbraith in 2nd place, Michael Tall in 3rd and Matt Summerfield. Whilst the action on the hill climb continued, there was plenty to see and do back on the street course. The souvenir t-shirts, mugs and hats were being snapped up, and all was in readiness for the first heats of the Ellerslie Farms Invitational Race. With the success of last year's event, it was decided to open the field up to 20 cars, competing over the 8-lap race, and a nod back to the history in the original Waimate 50 days. Stu Rogers would start as one of the favourites.
I've always had a bit of a passion for the Skylines, Group A, that whole era. Something I can relate to. So we thought we'd press on and go the whole hog with the GTR, really turn it into what's not around now. We sort of wanted to replicate that car that's no longer, so hence what we've done, and we've gone all out with the colour scheme, original stickers, 650 horsepower motor, which is what they run back then too.
A champion on 2 wheels and 4 trucks and cars, John Hepburn was making his debut here at Waimate. Johnny, motorbike racer, New Zealand champion, truck racer, New Zealand champion, New Zealand V8 racer, sports saloon, New Zealand champion, and now we're here with the Holden.
Yeah, it's good. It's fantastic to be invited to a local event, to be perfectly honest, especially the Waimate 50 with its rich history. So an invite meeting, and I'm absolutely rapt to be here this year. And the old Monaro's going pretty good, actually.
Brent Bones Collin, the blackcurrant farmer from Timaru, was back. His choice of weapon the same.
Right, she's there's original Don Grinley RX-7. She runs a NASCAR engine, which is a V6 Buick, and they banned them in 1985, I think, because they were quicker than the V8s in their day. and she's got a NASCAR gearbox, a Tex 101 with a Speedway Engineering quick change diff in it. So she's around about 520 real horsepower, and she puts most of it on the ground, and she's just fun to drive, but she's pretty hard work.
As was the rules last year, it is pretty much a individual Indian file start, and it is meant to be gentlemanly racing, but I can tell you from our experience last year it won't be. Drummond and Etheridge providing the onboard shots as we look on the roof here of Stu Rogers' Godzilla Nissan in the Peter Jackson Racing colours. He will lead them out onto the circuit for the best of 8 laps. Right in behind him, Bruce Brown, the little Datsun 1200, and then we go back to Morgan Wallace, I believe, in the Jaguar. So around the War Memorial they go. Of course, they won't do the hairpin turn up at the top end of the circuit. They'll turn into Slee Street and go back onto the circuit proper through the chicane and down past the Royal Tavern. They're turning right here all the way. So John Hepburn's got a bit of work to do here as we're watching from the roof of Kurt Aikman's Holden Commodore fuel-injected V6 as they head through one of the 2 chicanes on the course here. Morgan Wallace there in the beautiful Jaguar. I can tell you that Brent Collins has started late and he's at the back of the field, so he's probably got the most work of any to do. Hepburn looking for an outside run as they head back towards the finish line. Beautiful 66 Nova there. There is Bones Collins in the 24, the ex-Don Grindley Mazda RX-7 with the V6 Buick in it. That is an amazing, amazing car, and he certainly showed that to us last year. Number 216 is Tony Denson in the A9X Tirana. Jim Little, one of the heroes not only of the Waimate 50 but also of the organising committee, strutting his stuff in the Charger. But we go back to the front, and this is Stu Rogers out of his 8-second capable drag car into this Peter Jackson Racing absolute spot-on replica of the Nissan Godzilla. Hepburn goes through in the V8 Monaro. Right in behind him, it is Kurt Aikman. We're on board here with Grant Sylvester and his father Ron's 38 Chevy Coupe, and he's got all he can handle. Collins looking to find a way by. Remember, Brent Collins started at the very back of the field, so he's cutting their way through. And really, as the rules suggested last year, and it's the same this year, it's meant to be gentlemanly racing. I would suggest to you that that goes out the window after about 1 or 2 laps. Collins gets up in front of Grant Sylvester. You're riding in the best seat in the house. Now we pop to the outside shot. A problem last year for Bones Collins was the fact that he couldn't get any traction. Well, he's changed the tyres and the setup slightly on the Mazda, and it's working for him. Down the main straight, the main street, Queen Street here in Waimate, as we track the fastest man on the circuit at the moment. This is Brent Bones Collins, past Toyota Racing Series, the inaugural champion of the Toyota Racing Series, past Mini Challenge champion. He's done it all. He's driven, I should say, RX-7 Mazdas. And now here he is in, one of the characters of New Zealand motor racing in the past, Oscar champion from the mainland. That is Don Grindley, and that is Don's Mazda RX-7. Jim Little starting to get into this battle as well, as slowly but surely Collins is just starting to cut his way through the field. Out in the front, I can tell you, it is still Stu Rogers in the Godzilla, the GTR, and right in behind him, Bruce Brown, just making that little Datsun as wide as possible. So Stu John's about to be the next one lapped by Rogers. Just got a quick glimpse of the battle for second and third. Rogers just uses all the 650 horsepower of the Godzilla to go through. There's the battle for second, third and fourth. Kurt Aikman closing up the gap there. And here is Brent Collins. What a drive this has been from Bones, from Timaru, the blackcurrant farmer. Man, he's a champion in just about anything he drives, and he'll be up in the top 5 very shortly. There he is as they come down to complete yet another lap. Around the back of the Lethwick contracting corner, round the War Memorial they go. So it's Hepburn. You're riding on board here with Kurt Aikman. Kurt is the son of Robert, the organising committee chairman that puts all the hard work in here. A little bit sideways there for Collins, so maybe I spoke too soon about the traction problems he was having last year. Maybe he's revisiting them here. Now, is Collins going to get down the inside here? Stu Johns is going to play a part in this one as well. Little Fiat 125. He moves out of the way. And now it is Bruce Brown and that giant killing little Datsun 1200. And he has got a Tiger on his tail in the form of Brent Bones Collins. Goes rocketing past. Now with the laps remaining, can Collins get up onto the podium here? So currently sitting in third place. John Hepburn up ahead of him. Hepburn in the V8 Monaro. There is Collins. Then it's Bruce Brown behind him, but out in the front, Stu Rogers has got a pretty comfortable lead at the moment in the Peter Jackson replica Nissan GTR Godzilla replica. This is the battle for second and third, and Collins is right there, just gets a little bit taily, maybe costs himself a little bit of a spot there. runs the nose of the Mazda up under the rear lid of the Monaro of John Hepburn. Hepburn's a racer though, he'll know exactly how to make that Monaro just as wide as possible, and it's got plenty of power under the hood as well, so it's not going to come down to a drag race, I would suggest. Collins absolutely all over Hepburn at the moment. Back down through the field there, you see Dentzman, and then it is Grant Sylvester. You're riding on board with him here. Tony Dentzman just in front of him in the A9X Tirana. That's the Marlborough Holden dealer team replica. So races within races, and this is what the organisers wanted in the Ellerslie Farms Invitational. We get to see these guys out on the circuit 3 times over the weekend, and the big crowds absolutely love this. Down past the Royal Pub they come once again. There is Jim Little. Just in behind him, it's another one of the Datsun Triple S's, and that's Randall Diggs. Here's Dentzman. Just up ahead of him, it's the Volvo of Andy Robertson. You're back on board here with Sylvester taking the drummer and the Etheridge on-board shot. Stu Johns, once again, just getting out of the way in the little Fiat 125. And Collins has got through. Well, I've been watching the racing further down through the field. Brent Bones Collins in the Grinley tyres. RX-7 goes through, and he allows John Hepburn to pass him again. So there's a little bit of gentleman racing going on here in the first of the Ellerslie Farms Invitational. I know that Brent Collins likes a challenge, and he's got one here because he's let Hepburn go through. You're on board here with Kurt Aikman in the injected Commodore. Oh, look at this. The lap traffic's going to play a part in this one because Hepburn mired behind a little Chevy Nova, and Collins is all over him again. Collins is sideways as you like, and this has allowed Aikman to close up the gaps as well. Back on board with Aikman as they head down into the top end of the circuit, down the main street, into the Robertson Engineering crossing, or under the Robertson Engineering crossing, I should say. So they are coming down towards the flag position. Is this going to be the last lap, or is this the checkered flag out? Stu Rogers in the front. We're watching the battle for second and third. Up the inside of the Monaro goes Brent Bones Collins. Can he make the pass stick? They're door handle to door handle. Well, they said there wasn't going to be aggressive racing. They forgot to tell the 2 raciest guys here. Look at this, door handle to door handle around the leftward contracting corner and out onto the circuit proper once again. Who's going to give first? Hepburn's got track position. Will he hold on to it? Here comes the big charge from Bones Collins. Collins gets into the front, and Aikman wants to follow him, so Hepburn's going to have to watch what happens here. Hepburn not going to give it up without a fight, though. They go down the short chute, they'll come back out onto Queen Street, the main street, and then it'll be a drag race right down into the Forks Tavern corner. Johnny Hepburn in the Monaro, right in behind him, Brent Bones Collins in the ex-Don Grindley Mazda. What a history this car's got in New Zealand motor racing. There is the race leader, mired in the lap traffic here. That's winding down. In fact, the checkered flag comes out for Stu Rogers, so he wins race number 1 of the Ellerslie Farms Invitational. What's going to happen for the battle for second and third? It's going to go to the man from Timaru. What a drive from the back of the field to second place for Bones Collins. Sideways as you like, across the flag position. In third will be Johnny Hepburn, and a fast closing Kurt Aikman will go through in 4th place. This man, though, wins it. This is Stu Rogers from Timaru. One of the big hits of last year's McKeown Petroleum Waimate 50 GT Series were the Drifters, led by 2-time New Zealand champion Fanger Dan Woolhouse from Whangarei in the Century Batteries Commodore. Dan, you came down here last year. It was a little bit of an experiment to do some drifting here at Waimate, but you're back this year bigger and better than ever.
Yeah, definitely, and when I got the call about 6 months ago from Rob, he said, look, yep, let's get 4 cars down here from up north, and yeah, so we've put it all together. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a bit of a top 8 battle with North versus South thing, and yeah, let the crowd be judges. Yeah, just give them a little bit of a taste of what we do in D1.
The battles in the early going had the crowds on their feet, and while we've been here in the South Island, there was no doubt who the crowd favourite was.
Those concrete walls are pretty close.
Oh, definitely, mate. But you know, it's good practice for us, you know, because we do have a couple of concrete wall rounds, and the judges are asking us to, you know, be within 300 mils of the wall, and so yeah, it's good practice. It's good seat time, and we love it. Getting wild and wide. This is last year's car we ran, yep, and all we've done this season is supercharged it and taken a little bit of weight out of it. We've got Super Tourer rear quarters on it, and yeah, we're going to have another shot at the championship this year.
What sort of horsepower?
We're running 866 at the wheels, so it's got plenty enough there.
Explain to us why you need that horsepower, because a lot of people say, geez, those cars, they don't even go fast, but they run all that horsepower.
It's not about, we're running stickier and stickier tyres and we're trying to go faster and faster. It's just the drivability of it, because you do come against some cars that are slower or they can slow you up and you've got too much grip, so it's just having that balance. There's some other cars, Danum, I think he runs about 1100 horse, so we're not right up there, but I think we've got a pretty good package.
As the battles went into the early evening, according to the crowd's reaction, a clear champion had emerged. That man was Gaz Grove. Join us next weekend for part 2 where we take in the Makiki Fries Rally Sprint. There's more Ellerslie Farms Invitational, some Super Street Attack and of course Ken's Top 10. We'll see you then.